Hey guys, welcome back to the third video of the building and releasing your first NPM package. So in our previous two videos, we learned about the introduction to NPM and what are NPM package basically. And in the second video, we have learned like how to create a NPM package, how to test it locally, right? So I think that is pretty much enough to understand about how does the NPM package works and how to test it locally. Now we are going to move further in our actual learning, that is how to build the Ortoni report. So I'm just taking an example to build a HTML report using Playwright, but the concept is going to be very same. If you want to build any other project, you just have to follow the same steps. So if you are a tester and you want to create your own reporter, this is going to be a perfect example for you. But if you are developer or college student or maybe someone who just want to create a package, you can follow the same. Mostly the steps are going to be same. So yeah, let's get started now. So Ortoni report, of course already you guys know what is Ortoni report. Just let me show you. So this is the Ortoni report, beautiful report I can say. So it's very colorful and yeah, you can just go and check it from here. Like we have the files, test file basically, and within that we have the test specs or test, and within that we have, based on the project, we can see like from in the Chromium browser it has run this one passed, it has a tag, I mean project called Chromium, and steps are there. Yep, so steps are there, and if you go and select the, you can see it basically failed. If it's failed, it has a screenshot which is base64 image, so you can share the report easily. So you don't have to worry whether the attachments will be there or not. Of course the video attachment will be not there because it will be really large in size, so that won't make sense, but of course you can see the screenshot and you can identify. Okay, yeah, yeah, so this is the beautiful reporter, right? So what are the things I am using here is very simple. So first of all, I have like a handlebar is basically to do the template of HTML template. I will talk about everything in the upcoming videos. So of course we know Playwright dash test, I mean slash test, of course we know that. Tsub we already learned, TypeScript of course we know. Yep, and coming back to the yeah, we'll just install everything. So let me copy and let's create a new project. So I'm going to use my desktop. I'm going to create a folder called Ortoni dash report dash demo. Okay, so let's open this in VS Code. Okay, and you can of course create a project, Control J to bring your terminal, and I can say npm init dash y and hit enter. So the project is created. So if you go to the package.json, you can see like we have this project. Now I'm going to add the dev dependencies here. Whatever I copied, I'm going to just add everything here, the comma, big comma. Okay, and I don't want the ppt anymore, let's close it. I don't want this also, let's close it. Okay, so we have this playwright test, we have the types node, and we have the handlebar, we have the tsub, and we have the typescript. Okay, so once I add the dev dependency, of course I have to do the installation. So for that I can say like npm I, that will basically add everything to the node modules folder. Okay, now let's get the basic project structure. Before that, of course, we want to run the npm scripts, I mean playwright script, so that we can make utilize of the what we call that, sorry, in the playwright script basically. Okay, so already I have the playwright extension. So if you go to the extension and search for playwright, yeah, playwright from Microsoft, of course this is from Microsoft. So or as I already have the extension, I will go and utilize the extension. So I can say like Control Shift P to bring the command palette, and I can say like install playwright, and I will go with Chromium browsers, and I don't want to use the JavaScript for now. Let's add only with the Chromium browser. And already I have a detailed video on how the custom reporter works. So if you go to YouTube, and then if you go to um, Playwright custom reporter. I should come first, I guess. No. Okay. Yeah, this one, custom report. So if you go and see this video, custom report, it has it in detail, like what is custom report and how we can make use of it. But if you don't have 20 minutes of time, let me give you a very quick glance of it. Okay, so let's close this guy. Yeah, so we got our test examples, we got our test file, and we got our playwright config file as well. Okay, so first thing what we are going to do, we are going to add a custom reporter. So let's create a folder now. So it's going to be src, and within the src, let's name a file like ortoni-report.ts file. Okay, and here I'm going to create my custom reporter. So first of all, let's create a class called ortoni. Okay. And this is going to implement the custom reporter, which is from Playwright. Am I getting this? No, I'm not getting this. So from where I have to import? Okay, I don't remember all the import statements, so let me check my code base. So if you go to the src and if you go to the ortoni-report.ts, implement reporter, and reporter is from where? From the playwright test reporter. Okay, so let's do that. I think control space should bring this. No, it's not coming. Not a problem. I'll just copy and paste over here. Okay, so we are using the reporter, which is from your is it implements or extension? Yeah, it's implements. Okay, so once we implement, there are lots of methods are there. So if you go within the reporter, you can see like we have this on details. Okay, in the previous video, once we use the tsub, we have generated a file called .d.ts, right? So that is the this is what that .d.ts, that means it will give you all the methods, all the signatures, but it will not have any internal implementation. So it will give you the skeleton but not the implementation, which means like we can go and check the documentation, what does it's going to do, or like that. So we can read the docs here, we can see the methods with what is the argument, what is the return type, everything we can see, but we cannot see the actual implementation. That is what .d.ts stands for. Okay, declaration file basically. So we have like all these things, and yeah, I don't want everything now. I will just copy this guy for now. So let's copy on test begins, and similarly I want to get the on test end. Okay, so let's just have two functions now, and it's going to return the void. I have to do some implementation, so let's do the implementation over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just print the test name. Okay, I just want to show you how the reporter works. Okay, so I will say like console.log, and then followed by I can say let's print everything. Let's see what happens. Test, and then followed by I also want to print the result. Okay, so similarly on the test end also. So let me add a console log here, one more, console.log, and it's going to be test end. Okay, so yeah, that's it, pretty much done. But once, before running all your tests, what you have to do, you have to go within your playwright config file, and then here within the reporter we have to give like our custom reporter, which is this one, right? So I can just copy the relative path and paste over here. Okay, /ortoni-report.ts file. Okay, now let's go to our example.spec and let's run this first one. To run, I'm just clicking on this, and this is of course my extension, so you already know what this playwright runner, right? Yeah. Okay, so the test completed actually. So if you go and see here, it says like cannot find model because we didn't export. Sorry for that. So of course we have to export it. So let's add it here itself, like I can say export default class. Okay, now let's go back to our this, and let's click on this. Let's see the output now. Okay, something is wrong. Cannot find model src ortoni report.ts. what is there? Playwright config. Do you have to add custom report, something like this? No. Uh, 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 let's go to the playwright config file. Okay, it's basically the dot slash, so the path issue, nothing much here. Let's go and run this one more time. Yeah, so you can see, like, once we add the dot slash, it basically gives the result. So what we got here, right? So you can see, like, we got a lot of details actually. So it will take time to destructure everything, but don't worry, I will make it easier for you. But you can see, like, we have lot of information. So for example, this is the test cases. So within the test cases, we have title is nothing but this one. If you go to the example spec, so has title, right? So this guy is the title, and this is the file path, and we got some result metadata. So what we want to get here is the actual result, right? So this schema is basically huge, so I'll just reduce for you just to understand it better. So yeah, let's have the on test end, and instead of getting all the things, I will just like to get my result dot result dot okay. I will just print the result. Let's see what happens now. Okay, so let's go and run this test one more time, and of course it by default it runs in the headless mode, so that's why you're not seeing the browser. But yeah, if you know Playwright, you know this also. Okay, so in the result you can see, is there any retry? No. Is there any parallel index? No. The duration took in like 1320, that is in milliseconds. This is the start time. We don't have any error or output, so we didn't get. So standard out, what is standard out in the sense, like, if you go to your spec and let's say that I want to print the title, right? So console, oh, this console dot, and then I can say like page dot title. So title is going to return me string. It's going to return me promise of string, so I have to use the await. Now let's go and run this now one more time. So previously in the standard out you didn't see anything, so this time you are going to see the standard out as fast and reliable. That is the page title of the, okay. So if you have any error, you will get in the standard error. And if you have any attachment, for now we don't have any attachment, let's go and add some attachment as well. So if you go to the config file, and within the use, I want to add screenshot on all, and also I like to add my video for each and everything. Okay, and let's say that we want to also add the trace file. Of course you can do that. Yeah, trace, let's make it like on. Okay, and it will work with double quotes as well, but we'll just follow the standard. Okay, Control J, Control C, Control L, and then followed by the same command. Okay, so now if you see, we have this attachment, and within the attachment you can select, we have got the screenshot, we got the video, and also we got the trace file. If you go and open this, you can see the screenshot of your execution. Similarly, if you go and check your video file, so video file will be always in the format of WebM, that is specifically optimized for your browser, because if you see MP4 or MPEG or any other format, it will be huge in size, whereas the WebM format will be less. So here you can see all these things, right? So if you go to the Reveal Explorer, you can see it is just 41 KB. Of course it might have run like 1 or 2 seconds, but yeah, considering all other format, the WebM format is really optimized for your browser. Okay, so we got all the attachment, and let's go and check what we have. So we have the status, we know that it's passed, and then we have steps. What is steps? Steps is where, like, it will consider your before hooks, and it's just going to this guy and then this guy, right? So what is this guy? Let me explain that as well. So if you go to the example spec, you can see, like, page.goto. So this is one step, right? So if you go here, you can select page.goto, and then we have await to have title. So it says like expect to have title. I mean, not await to have title, expect to have title. Yeah. And then we have the console log. So within the console log, what we are doing, we are just trying to print the title. So it says like page.title, and our test is over. So this is the last line of the test. So then it executed the after hook where it will close the browser, right? And then we have the attachment, so it's attaching the trace file to it. Okay, and we don't have any error, then we don't have any error. So what is 2? So if you have multiple errors, it will give you within the errors. If you have one error, it will give you as the error, or else it is going to identify it. So now we have the basic structure, right? So we have the basic structure how the test data is coming. So what we have to do is we have to collect everything. So for example, I just executed one, right? So if I go and execute my all the tests, for example, if you go within the text example, here you can see like we have a lot of tests, right? So if I want to collectively add everything, then I want to create the HTML. Now creating HTML is very easy, right? So once we have all the data, based on the data, we just have to do the HTML. So to do the HTML, we are going to use a template package. I mean, to create a template, we'll use the package called handlebar. So if you go to this package.json, you can see like we have this handlebar already added, but we'll use that in our upcoming video. So this is the basic idea. So we don't have to do much here. Actually, it's very simple. So the Playwright already has this custom reporter function where we are going to get all the details. So once the test is completed, it is going to give us all the data. Now how we are going to make use of the data? For example, I have to store that in a JSON file, or I can store it in a direct variable, or else I can store it in a maybe like cookies or temps, whatever it is. The way we want to store, we can decide that. We will store that, and based on that we will read and we'll create the HTML file. That is a simple idea. Okay, now it might look very simple, but while we create the data, I mean while we get the data and create the data, there will be some challenges as well. I will tell you all those in detail, but meanwhile, if you want to follow along with me, you can go and do same whatever you want, like whatever I am doing, or else of course you can go to the Ortoni report. You can see all the codes here. With I hope I have done the beautiful documentation over here, so you can go and do. And once you started learning like how these things are working, probably you can do the contributions, right? So not necessary you have to create your own always. You can contribute and you can make it more reliable. Okay, so and of course you can see based on version. So this is how I have maintained. So from like 1022 I have all the versions, so you can go, and current version is v 20.2, which is the release cycle, I mean released version, and 203 is the temp version. So I'm just working on few things now. Okay, yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope you have got a decent idea how the Playwright reporters works and how does we are going to approach from the next videos. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you have any queries, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll be happy to reply. See you in the next one very soon. Ta-da, bye bye, take care.